destroyed our community, whether about wind damage, sometimes about flood. So we're always prepared for hurricane season because it starts here. So it's one of those state of readiness you always have to be into from living in this area. But as someone who lived in this area practically all of my life, the land is so vital to all of us. It's a way of life. This is a community where most of the people, when I was coming up, they made their living off the land, whether gardening or fishing. Fishing was one of the key vital economic bases for people. I have a friend of mine, Byron Inkalord, and I always tell this story. When we was in high school in 10th grade, Byron used to walk around with $500 in his pocket. Because as a kid, they used to go out in the bayou at night, and they made big money, in high school, So your coach, when he got to be 18 and 20 years old, I mean, he was like I hate to say the word Donald Trump, but he was like a little Donald Trump. And many of the young brothers in our community that many of the fishermen put their children through college, made a living, surviving off the land, which means that they was independent. Because living in a place like Plaq Parish with the history of segregation and racism, where you were segregated, you didn't participate in the government, you didn't get jobs with the government. If you wasn't independent, then you didn't survive. So most of the people in my community had to survive as being carpenters, fishermen, those kind of things, and that's how they made a living. Coming to present day where we are now, when BP came and it took place, out in the Gulf, it really destroyed the fishing industry. It was really sad. It brought tears to my eyes because you had guys who made their living all their lives off the water, and when the BP came in and all the chemicals destroyed the water, they can make a living. And one of the stories I always tell is that we hooked up with Dillon University, Beverly Wright, and we was able to do a program with fishermen. And the guy came into our meeting, and the first thing he told these fishermen, I didn't want to put them on welfare. And you've got guys who all their lives have never depended on the government, anybody, to make a living. Then they also came with trying to create programs where they take off their boots and vote on the post to talk or go and sit in somebody's class for somebody to teach them how to what they do. So again,